Hey guys, GSP and GSP Talk Sports, and we're talking UFC 330 review. It went down last night from Philadelphia, and and still and still in the main event and in the co-main event, Islam retained his title, Mackenzie didn't retain her title. All what I was feeling that a possible upset was on the cards. Nothing like that happened. Wasn't straightforward in Islam's case though, but just going through from the main event go down. So Islam got the win via decision, unanimous decision. Now this was anything but straightforward for Islam. Ian Gary so overconfident, and now I see why he was that confident because he said he had good takedown defense. He has his good stand up. I thought he could have used his range a little better. A lot of times he was hesitant. Probably it could have been because there was the threat of the takedown from Islam, but we knew he was going to get taken down, and he was able to come back up in many instances very fast. Uh, Use the cage, climb back up, and so on. I saw he was sitting elbows to the forearms when Islam had him in the clinch. Crazy technique. At a point in time, Islam had his toes in the side of the cage, and Ian Gary was pointing it out. So, how it went, first rounds, Islam kind of dominated. Actually, he dominated the first two rounds per se, with takedowns, trying for the submissions, and the size difference would have showed up in terms of we know he normally mauls the 155ers. He's so much more powerful at 155 over those other guys. So when he gets in a certain position, they are not able to fight off the submissions or the positions, let's say, because he's a big 155er when he cuts down. Now against the 170-pound guys, well, we know he went the full distance with Jack Dellerman, and by he got it via decision too, so he couldn't get Jack out of there, and similarly he couldn't get Ian out of there, and Ian did a very good job, especially in the third round, where the wrestling looked like it took a toll on Islam, and Islam looked bun. He had his mouth open, he was gasping, and Dana White mentioned, and I have to agree with him that Ian didn't show any sort of killer instinct at all.
Like I think that Ian is a talented guy. I If he had even an ounce of killer instinct in that fifth round, he had been beating him to the body. Islam's whole, I think, right side was beat up. His face was beat up. You don't come out and hug and shake hands in the that shit drives me fucking crazy when there's so much at stake, and there's also a lot of mental gamesmanship, whatever you want to call it in this game. You come out in that fifth round with a flying knee or something crazy, and you try to finish the fight. I think that this is one of those fights that Ian will go back and watch and say, "Fuck."
Now, I am sure that Ian Gary's coaches would have probably been getting upset, as we would have seen with Dean Thomas in the other fight too, in terms of he has the range, use that, using the oblique kick. Now, that oblique kick, I have always said I'm not a fan of it. It's a legal kick where you kick to the knee and hyperextend the knee and such. John Jones is famous for that. I don't like it at all as a technique, but it's very effective. He was using it. Could have probably used it more to stop Islam shooting as much. Some knees when he's shooting, even in the clinch as well. And the kicks to the body, it was taking a toll. It had Islam's whole side of his body red. And I thought he could continue with that as well. And even with the head kicks, Islam actually got him with a head kick in round two and had him wobbled, stunned. He had to kind of recover on the ground and so on. So he could have tried more head kicks. And yeah, probably things could have been different. So in the third round, he didn't really go fit. Fourth round, Islam kind of did his thing, getting his takedowns. Ian was kind of growing into the fight. And then in the fifth round, at the start of the fifth round, touching gloves, hugging up. White says he's not a fan of it. I mean, with title implications on the line, he probably should have come out a bit more aggressive. He has sold me in terms of becoming a fan of his now, like the way how he did in this fight. Overall, like not just bending to Islam's will, but he could have done a lot more. Could have done a lot more. And as Dana said as well, he will look back on it and think, I should have probably pushed the pace in certain positions and at certain times in the fight and not give Islam so much time to recover. Having said that, Islam did what he had to do. He got a body triangle in the fifth and basically sold it up there. He needed to try to get out and probably keep it standing. So for Islam, he is 29-1. He's 17 in a row. He is a 2-division champion, defended both the lightweight and now the welterweight titles. He's on a 17-fight win streak, beating Anderson Silva's all-time record, 7 UFC title wins, and he's the number 1 ranked men's pound-for-pound fighter. And he's in the argument there for the MMA GOAT, or at least best fighter in the world. Yeah, you can't deny it at this moment. And he said in his post-fight interview as well, he's 34 years old and he is looking to fight as soon as possible because Ramadan is in February next year. So he's looking to fight in like ending of the year or January. So that's something to look forward to. Moving down the card, so in the co-main event, we had Mackenzie Dern versus Julian Robinson. And this one, as I mentioned, well, Mackenzie Dern got the win via decision. This one was more dominant of a performance. Then Thomas, Julian Robinson, jiu-jitsu coach, was getting so frustrated because, and well, jiu-jitsu and other things. Move your legs, making it too easy for Mackenzie Dern to get the takedowns. And I don't know if Julian Robinson's legs were so damaged from the leg kicks that she just couldn't move as normal, but she looked like she was in a daze or like just a deer in the headlights, couldn't perform at all. And Mackenzie Dern was kind of gassed third and fourth, and Julian Robertson should have tried to push the pace and try to get a finish, but she just was very hesitant, and I really don't know what was going on with her. So Mackenzie Dern, in pretty straightforward fashion, retains her title. Well done to her. In the 115 category, will Wei Li Zhang move down back and give us some competition? Left to be seen. Lightweight category moving down, Jalen Turner, as predicted, KO in 39 seconds over Kone Fernandez. In fight before that, Mansour Abdul Malik, round 2 submission over Dustin Stiosos or whatever his name is. Edson Barbosa, well, he lost to Robovic as predicted as well. Then we had Charles Johnson getting it done over Eduardo Capelin, right? Charles Johnson with a submission win in round 1. We had Dante Johnson getting it done via KO over Eric Makonko. And then we had Vicente Luque, well, he lost to Sean Gore. So that's how it went for this UFC 330. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Exciting UFC on the whole, and looking forward to bigger and better from the two champs. Don't forget JSP on JSP Talk Sports. Like, share, subscribe, and comment.